Hi, welcome back to another Cirrus Rainbird software tutorial. Today we're going to show you how to create a water window on your course. We'll be covering how long it takes to water your entire course at the default runtime of 10 minutes. What will happen if you need to increase that time for the entire course to more than 10 minutes. What's the maximum amount of time you can turn the sprinklers on before the workers begin at 5 a.m. How can you start irrigation systems before 10 p.m. without harming play, and what your new water window and your new maximum runtime would be. So the first thing you're going to want to do is see what your current window is. So you're just going to run a dry run. Start at 10, we'll go to 11 just to see where we're at. So once that's done, you can get a visual on when it started. So here I started at 10, and by about 5 a.m. it was done right about 4:59. So we're going to go through a few ways to, well, as you can see, our gallons per minute are not where they should be. So we're going to go through a couple ways and show you how to increase those.
Okay, so now we need to decide what's going to happen if we need to increase the amount of time we're watering for while maintaining the irrigation window of being off by 5 a.m. to allow play. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go up to the system station settings here. We are going to go to our sprinkler default, and then you can see all the runtimes are at 10. So if we want to increase those, we're going to go to 15 minutes default time for every section of the course. Okay, and we're going to make sure to hit this little arrow here. Select all areas, all sub areas, and all data. Press OK. We're going to close this window down. Okay, so now we're back to this main system settings page. We're going to hit this little decoder here. We're going to hit the check mark, and it's going to pop up with these three little dots here. This shows how many maximum solenoids can be on at the same time. This can be altered if you do have the electrical capacity to run more. So we're just going to alter it to 40 here, meaning that more heads will be able to be on at the same time, allowing more flow. We're going to press OK. We're going to close out of this window here, and we're going to go do a dry run. So same thing, we're going to start it at 10 p.m. as if this is our actual watering window, and it doesn't really matter when our end time is because it should stop before 5 a.m. anyway. We're going to go hit on this little dry run graph. This was our last result, so we're going to press play. Okay, so as you can see, we are getting pretty well the maximum gallons per minute here, just under 1200. And then we're going to slide this over here just to see what time the dry run stopped at. So it was around 5:31. So we could almost go back and alter the default run times to maybe even 14 minutes just to make sure the irrigation system is being shut off before 5. Okay, so seeing as our dry run ran a little bit longer than expected, we still need the irrigation system to be shut off by 5. So we are going to go, I just altered the run time for all the sprinklers to 14 minutes instead, with the 40 maximum solenoids running at a time. So we're going to go run a dry run with the new information we just put in. And we're just going to do from 10 p.m. to whatever time 10 a.m. stop. It should finish before 5 or right at 5. Click on the little graph here. We're going to press play. Okay, so we're going to drag this over just to see what time it ended at. So as you can see, we're finishing pretty close to, well, 5:01, and we're still reaching at a maximum around 1,180 gallons per minute at our max. So we're still getting pretty well our full potential out of our system here.
All right, so in order to accommodate the chase program that we are building so that we can start watering behind golfers as soon as they're finishing on like the first hole or the 10th hole, we'll start in our programs here, and we'll see that on the front 9 greens, if we go into the schedule, they are adjusted to start at like 8:20, 8:40, 9, all the way up until 10, so that the program automatically assumes itself to finish itself. That has been done for each of the sections here, so we'll see that they're all completed. And from there, we will run a dry run.
Alright, so then we're going to just do a dry run to verify this. So, back over here. Here's our time frame that's been set. Hit play. There you can see it started about 8:20. So now you can see here's our overall dry run starting at approximately 8:15, 8:20 and finishing here at about 3:40. Now keep in mind now that we've started this chase method shortly after 8 that we can also extend our water window by a couple hours on the back end by having our crew, when they start, chase the sprinklers. So if the crew started on hole 1, we could still have water running on, say, holes 8 and 9, or further down the line, 17 and 18.
In conclusion to this assignment, how long does it take to water the entire golf course at the default runtime of 10 minutes? It ran from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., so 7 hours. And what will happen if we need to increase the time for the entire course to more than 10 minutes? If we increased the time to 15 minutes, we would be watering past that 5 a.m. mark, which is when all the golfers would start. And so we would need to increase or do something to shorten that runtime. So what we did is we increased our electrical capacity from 20 solenoids to 40 solenoids, so more stations could be turned on at once. And then this allowed into the next question, which was the maximum amount of time we could turn the sprinklers on, and it was too much at 15 minutes. It ran into 5:30 a.m. But at 14 minutes, they could be run at 5 a.m. How can you start your irrigation system before 10 p.m. without harming play? So this is when we made a new program to start watering holes 1 and 10 at 8:20, and then holes 11 and 2 at 8:40, and then so on until hole 5, and then everything gets turned on at 10 p.m. And then with this new program, our new water window was 8:20 to 3:42 p.m.